Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this, know that I appreciate you. It is I, Jay, and I'd like to welcome you to another day in the daily life of Jay. It is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020, and it is 8:22 in the a.m. and I am headed to work. It is day 3 on the new gig. Day 3. And so far, it is going well. And some would say, well, it's only 3 days in. Yeah, it should be going well. It's only 3 days in. Well, yeah, if you've ever been on a job that's really, really bad, then you know why I'm saying day 3 and it seems to be going well. Because usually, if the job is really, really bad by day 1, day 2, you know what the deal is, and that you may not survive working here very long, or working wherever that place is very long. So for me to be able to say this is day 3, and so far it's going well, that means day 1 and day 2 have gone pretty decently. That's a good thing. I have been on jobs where I knew by the end of day 1, you did all of that to get around me only to be stopped by a red light. Where I knew by the end of day 1 that it wasn't going to last very long. And as a matter of fact, I was supposed to, for this particular job, it was a seasonal job, I was supposed to be there into the new year. But I quit right before Christmas. It was just too much. And they clearly did not have enough help. And it was retail, and not retail as in clothing and stuff like that, but retail as in it was a Dollar Tree. And I knew by the end of day 1 that it wasn't going to go well. I knew that. They didn't have enough help. There was way too much work to get done. And oh, that's him. I'm like, what am I hearing? I turned my radio off. That's the motorcycle. And by the end of day 1, like I said, I knew it just wasn't going to work. It just wasn't. So yeah, for me to be able to say that, we're starting day 3, and so far it's going well, it's a good thing. So how are you guys doing? I finally cleared off some stuff. I still don't have enough space to do as much as I would normally do as far as recording is concerned. But I did clear off some things last night. All of my voice recordings I've gotten off of here. So one of them I still have. I need to listen to it and see what it really is. Because it might be one of those times where my phone decided to record that I was in an emergency situation when actually I wasn't. So yeah, I cleared that stuff off. I got rid of some other stuff. Some images that didn't need to be on there because they were in other places. What else did I get off of here? I cleared out some text messages. I keep all of my text messages just because you never know when you might need them again to refer back to them. But some of them I know that I can get rid of. So I started clearing out some of those, and I started clearing out some of my voicemails because I had some voicemails on here that were just unnecessary. They were from last year, and I don't mean just, almost a year ago last year, the latter part of 2019. So we're talking, yeah, it's time to get rid of them. So yeah, I've made myself some space, and I'm going to keep doing that throughout the week because it takes time. It takes time. stuff that I really need to get rid of, and not get rid of stuff that I didn't mean to. So yeah. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had to make space for something new? Because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm making space for something new. And it's all stuff, the stuff that you have to get rid of is all stuff that you thought you needed, but in actuality you did not. It's all stuff that you thought that you would have to go back to reference at some point, and in actuality you didn't have to do it at all. And I don't mean just, you know, when you've got too much stuff on your camera, you know, and you got to get rid of stuff on your camera, you got to get rid of your stuff on your SD card, your memory card. I don't mean just you got to get rid of stuff on your hard drives, you know, because I've had to do that too, get rid of stuff on my hard drives that I don't need. As a matter of fact, I got to do it for my hard drive. One of my externals, you know, I got to do that, but my phone was more important. But I don't mean just that. I don't mean just your hard drives. I don't mean just your phone. I don't mean just your SD card, your memory card on your camera. I mean in your life. Have you ever had to get rid of things that you thought you needed, but you found out that you really didn't, in order to make room for new? It's not an easy process. It doesn't happen overnight, usually. And sometimes it takes you down a road of reminiscing that you really didn't expect to go down. Like some of the voicemails that I had to get rid of were voicemails from my children, or voicemails from my dad, and just to have, it really was just to have their voices on my voicemail. It wasn't that they were saying anything majorly important. It wasn't, you know, one of them was literally my give me a call back. That's really all, that was what it was, my give me a call back. I didn't need to hold on to that. I needed to get rid of that. And we do that in life sometimes. We hold on to stuff that we don't necessarily need. And it keeps us from getting the new. I've seen this image, and I've mentioned it before a long while ago. I mentioned it before, where there's a little girl holding on to a little teddy bear, and she's just holding on to it for dear life, and Jesus is in front of her, and behind his back he has this huge teddy bear that he wants to give her, but because she's so, you know, content with the little teddy bear, she's so attached to the little teddy bear she has, she's not making room for him to give her the bigger teddy bear. I've also heard the imagery used about us having our fists closed because we're holding so tight onto something that we're not making room for what it is that God has for us. But if we let that thing go, usually something that we don't need, if we let it go and we open our hands, God has something so much better for us, better than we ever thought or expected it to be. So sometimes you have to do that with your life, and this has gone down a road that I did not anticipate it going, but sometimes you have to do that with your life. You have to go through and clean out some things that you thought you needed, but you found out later that you did not. You found out in going through it that you did not. And that's been my life for the last couple of weeks. Even, and I mentioned this before, even with going through paper and shredding paper, I finally bought a shredder and a file cabinet, and it allowed me to go through a lot of the paper that I had in my office just sitting around, and I was able to shred it and get rid of it. And even though my office is still not 100% where I want it to be, it looks better just because I was able to do that, just because I was able to go through that paper and get rid of those things that I don't need. Like, I hold on to receipts for years. I don't need to. Now, if it were on something that may have a warranty on it, or an electronic piece, or, you know, something like that, then yeah, I need to hold on to that for a while. A piece of jewelry, I need to hold on to that for a while. But if it's on something like groceries, what am I holding on to that receipt for? If it's something like a fast food order, what am I holding on to that receipt for? There's no point to me holding on to that receipt. If it's a gas receipt, what am I holding on to that for? Unless I'm going to use it towards my taxes for the business, there's no point to me holding on to that. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you need to let go of things that you thought you needed in order to make room for the things that you do need. to make room for the things that will actually be more beneficial to you, to make room for the things that will make room for you, that will take you to your next level, that will take you to your above and beyond, that will take you to, heights that you never really even imagined before. Make room. Go through your papers and see what you can actually get rid of. Go through your receipts and see what you can actually get rid of. Go through your phone and see what you can actually get rid of. Your computer, your hard drive, your SD memory cards, and all of that. Go through those things and see what you can actually get rid of, so that you can make room for the new. You can make room for the better. And sometimes, and I don't like to get rid of friends, I don't like to get rid of people unless they're toxic people, but even the toxic people can teach you something. But if you've got people in your life that mean you no good whatsoever, they have nothing good for you in any way, shape, or form, other than the lesson of don't be with that person, or don't hang out with that person, or don't listen to that person, don't entertain that person. Other than that, there is no point to you having that person in your life. So sometimes you have to get rid of people in that way. Sometimes you have to get rid of jobs. This is another example. I had to let go of the job that I was on for 3.5 years in order to get to the job that I'm in now, where it is opening me up to learn so much more in an area that I'd never been in before. I'd never worked in before. But I can guarantee you, if I pay attention, the things that I'm learning in this job, I will be able to transfer to my own business, because it's taking me through so many courses and so many lessons, like literally courses and lessons that I have to sit down and listen to all day. That's all I've been doing for 2 days. I've been in courses for 2 days straight. I love learning. You all know that. I will sign up for a class in a hot minute. But here's something that I said I wasn't going to do. I wasn't going to sign up for another class until I finished what I had. And thankfully, me saying that did two things. It kept me from cluttering and procrastinating, but it also opened me up so that I can receive the courses that I'm in right now for work and get the information that I need right now for work, because I can almost guarantee you that the things that I'm learning there, and I've just said it, the things that I'm learning in these courses, I'll be able to transfer or translate into my own business. So sometimes you got to get rid of the old in order to receive the new. Okay? All right, I still got a good 15 minutes before I can get to work, because I'm taking the long road and I should have taken the highway, but I didn't put my GPS up. And I tried to do it yesterday. I put the GPS up and I thought I knew where I was going after a moment, so I took the GPS down and then got lost. So I decided today I'm going to take the streets, but it's going to take me a little bit longer. It's going to take me a little bit longer. That's really very clear right now. But yeah. So that's today's word of wisdom, Wednesday's word of wisdom, which I had not intended on at all. I just came on to tell you guys how my days have gone for the last couple of days. On the new gig, on the new job. But yeah, it turned into something more, and I'm grateful for it, because that says to me that, one, I needed to hear it myself. I needed to hear it myself and be okay with all of these changes and the things that I'm getting rid of. But two, somebody I know in my listening audience needed to hear it too. Somebody, scrolling through needed to hear this very same thing. Sometimes you got to get rid of the old so that you can make room for the new. All right, I'm getting off of here so I can concentrate on this traffic. You all have an amazing day, an amazing rest of the week. I pray that God covers you, keeps you, brings you peace, and protects you if I don't see you again for the rest of the week. All right, with that, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you. I may come back on a little bit later at the end of the workday, but I don't know just yet. So that's why I'm closing it out with my signature closure. All right, you all have a great one.